Now, Soumitra Bhattacharya joining us, MD at Bosch, on numbers this time around. Thanks so much for joining us, Mr. Bhattacharya. Now, how are you embracing the structural changes that are taking place in the auto sector, when it comes to managing resources, enhancing efficiencies, particularly given the nature of the period we're going through right now? Share with us, some of your strategies currently.
Thank you very much, Aisha and team, for having me on the show. We started this journey on transformation nearly 2.5, 3 years ago, and this was well before COVID times. And we said that we have a fit for future and the 3R strategy of reskilling, redeployment, and restructuring. Let me give you one concrete example, because many of you have asked us that what are these exceptional amounts that we have, as a part of our P&L. This month, we are happy to announce, and this is, in the Bosch way, and caring and very ethical and also taking care of our people. We have 1,000 applicants, of which 545 approximately have already taken the EVR, and the rest of around 435, 440 who have applied and who will be using it. So we nearly have 1,000 applicants at our blue-collar workmen who are taking our EVR, where we are changing our spans, layers, controls, including reskilling for the future. The payback will be between 5 to 6 years, which is reasonably fast. And we have given a package which includes, to ensure they have a continuity of, after they leave Bosch, also a financial situation, including a monthly income, which will take them through, and a chance to do a further, job if they want to. So short point, if I say what the market looks like, let's face it, in 2021, and especially the first quarter, this has been a wipeout for the industry, for automotive, and definitely it has reflected in Bosch. We have shown a break even before exceptional items, and after exceptional items, where we've put in 197 crores, and this is a part of our 800 crore package till now, which we have done, we have had a loss, and for the first time. We expect from now on, and from this quarter onwards, the market to be firmer in different segments. Let me give you an example. Tractors have already shown a very strong comeback, and you know that Bosch Limited has a very strong role in the agri and especially in the tractor segment. So we see tractors to have a very strong growth. We are very strongly in. We see two-wheelers, where we also have a strong side, where though it's negative compared to last year, it is improving. In summary, if we look at segment-wise, heavy commercial vehicles is still down, light commercial vehicles, small movements happening, but will take some time to pick up. Pass cars, the inventory will start getting built up, especially on the compact cars for the festive season. And tractors, as I mentioned to you, already strong takeoff from July onwards and will continue till middle of November. And we see a good traction in the two-wheeler. To summarize the year 2021, the first half, including the first quarter, will be pretty down. The second half, we see with a good monsoon and decent sentiments, and hopefully without further lockdowns, we'll have a pickup. The key point, how long will the industry take to come back to the peak of 2018-19? Our guesstimate is overall around 4 years from 18-19, and we from Bosch Limited would like to come back a year or two before that.
Sure. All right. So let's talk about your capex and R&D investments as well. Are you readjusting spends? What's the plan on that going forward?
You know well that Bosch Limited, including its parents, our parents have a very good track record over decades. Our parent spends approximately between 8 to 10% of its turnover on R&D. Worldwide, there are approximately 60,000 R&D engineers, of which India has the largest R&D engineers in the world after Germany. So our focus in R&D, both from India for the world and from India for India, will continue. We have a very strong R&D base in the software embedded technology base. We have a very strong R&D at the powertrain base. And we have always provided affordable, innovative solutions for the Indian market. So we will continue with that. Capex, let's put it this way. We have kept our must-haves. Our Adugudi campus, which will be a very smart campus. We have 75 acres here. By end 22 is on, where the transformation is on. But we have cut down on the not so nice capex or not must-have capex. And I would say on an average compared to the past, we'll be down by about 40 to 50% of our past capex trends for this year only.
Sure. But what's a bigger concern right now, would you say? Is it supply or is it demand? And how is it that you see the supply side influencing demand over the next few quarters?
Look, the automotive industry is dependent not just on tier 1. It goes on to tier 2, tier 3, and even tier 4, if you call it. So I would say for the automotive industry, like many industries, the migrant labor, the reverse migration that has taken place in India will continue to be a concern. Another concern would be India is going through multiple unlocks, but also many times a further lockdown. And that's becoming a little unpredictable. Keeping that in mind, including the containment zones where we still have challenges in the Mumbai belt, the Pune belt, the Chennai belt, and now also in Bangalore, where I'm talking from, and finally, of course, the NCR belt, India will continue to have some amount of throttling, both on part of reverse migration, as also on the supply chain, and not necessarily just on automotive, in different industries. Having said that, I think in India, we will find ways and means of overcoming that. The festive season, I think the industry is trying to fill in the pipeline based on a pent-up demand. Example, I told you already about tractors, including in pass cars, compact cars, including two-wheelers. And also, we have a good monsoon going for us with a very positive agri-mood. I would end by saying that, on top of this, if there are sectorial incentives, example, if the government gives a time-framed incentive of a GST cut from 28 to 18%, it will be a big boost. The other area which the whole automotive industry has been talking with the government, and rightly so, is about the scrappage policy. If the scrappage policy is actually implemented, it will be a massive boost because we see at least 8 lakh vehicles being taken off the road. And India is one of the few countries, perhaps, where we haven't implemented a scrappage policy. So in summary, the industry needs to, of course, prune up. We have done our cost management. You can see it in our other expenses, in our personal cost, and you will see even more benefits now that we've done a very structured early voluntary retirement scheme and a little more still to come, and the transformation that we are doing. And we are not cutting our focus on new age business. Very soon, we'll be making a few announcements from Bosch Limited on new age business. You'll be happy to know that by the end of the year, we'll be carbon neutral for Bosch Limited. And we have tied up with 2 companies, AMP and Hinduja Renewables, on going in that direction of carbon neutrality for the year end. So more announcements to come from Bosch Limited, and our continuous focus on transforming the core, rejigging our adjacencies, and launching speedboats for new edge businesses.
Good to hear that. Just one final question, and we'll quickly take this up. Given the big change that is currently happening in the global, supply chain, companies are looking to diversify and reduce their dependency on China. Are you getting the same feelers from your clients as well?
I think this is a very important point you're raising. The geopolitical situation worldwide, but also in India, has definitely made the government think of a long-term policy on how to become self-reliant, and therefore Atmanirbhar Bharat is a very clear signal from the government. And it's a very positive signal, we believe, from the government, because localization is the key. So in Bosch Limited, we are 67 years make in India, 98 years in India, and we have always focused on localization. So for all our businesses, we have always done localization based on when it makes sense to switch over from imports to localization. Right now, based on this new policy, we are looking on ways to further hasten the progress on that area.